Create camera shakes without the use of any keyframes. There's a link in the description where you can download the free demo for the Rumble Pack. I'll be going over it as well as the full pack in this video. Whether you download the demo or the full pack, you'll get a DRFX file. You'll double click to install. If you purchased the Rumble Pack in the past, you get a free update. Just make sure to check your emails. And instead of saying install, it'll say overwrite. So for this, I'm going to install. The DaVinci Resolve might freeze for a second to install it, but once done, go to the effects panel. You can click on the toolbar and type in Rumble. Now I'll first go over the demo. You just drag and drop to your clip. The demo camera shake will start off with a quick flash. You can turn it off, and you can control the strength and speed of the camera shake. The shake effect decreases towards the end of the clip. You can control motion blur. You also can create a zoom crop, which for this clip here, you'll notice at the top, it's set to replicate. So you see the frame at the top of the clip. So you can use a zoom crop to zoom in to kind of crop that out. Going back up to the effects panel, you have 5 transitions. There's basically transitions for each one of the different axes. So there's X-axis, X, Y, Z, the Z-axis, X, Y, and Y. I'm going to grab the X-axis now and just drag on top of these 2 clips here. I'm gonna move my playhead over. So the clip will play out. It will shake and create this quick flash to transition in between the clips. I kept these transitions relatively simple. You can just control the motion blur and the speed since they're so quick. The transition also automatically scale to whatever frame you're working in. I'm currently working in 24 FPS, but if you're in a 30 frame per second or 60 frames per second, transition will scale to those frames. I'm gonna go back to my original clip, click on it, and I'm gonna delete the demo and go over the full pack. So scrolling down, you have continuous, handheld, rumble pack, and scale. The continuous basically keeps the camera shake going throughout the entire clip. So if I drag this to my clip, it'll flash first, and then it will just continue to shake throughout the clip. Within this update, you don't need to use an adjustment clip, nor do you need to turn into a compound clip or a fusion clip. Also, the flash is pre-programmed to always flash within the first 12 frames of your clip. Going over to the controls, right here where it says flash frames, that controls the frame. So if you want it longer, you can type in 24. So if you're working on 24 FPS, it'll flash for a full 1 second. Or you can make it even shorter, type in like maybe 5 frames, and you get the quick flash. Going back to the flash controls, you can increase the strength of the flash. You can turn it off, turn it on. The spread, ratio, and gain are controls that tie into the composition type. By default, it's set to add. So if I hit the drop down and say just choose, say, like overlay, you get a different look. Then I can turn up the spread, the ratio, and the gain. And then I can change the color and just change it to some red. And they got kind of like this reddish glow around the subjects. And so yeah, you have this reddish glow around the subjects. And if I change it to something like lighting, you basically can use any one of these different modes. Lighting basically just going to get pretty much all white. You turn it to something like exclusion. It's going to give you the opposite of whatever color you selected. It's more or less like an invert. Using vivid color or linear color or linear burn give you some unique effects or unique looks rather. Color right gives like this desaturated look, but all the luminance or the brightest values of the footage will flash whatever color you select. Going back up to the top, you have this button layout that allows you to control what axis you want to shake. And since they're pretty much jumping up and down, I'm going to change this to the Y axis. I'm going to turn down the motion blur because it's a little too strong. I'm going to double tap here and type in 0.5. And then I'm going to turn down the speed. So now it's a little bit too, kind of a little too slow. I'm going to turn down the strength a little bit and increase the speed. So now it looks more or less natural. If I go ahead and cut this off, you can see basically there's no camera movement for this, even though they're kind of jumping around. So we go back now and put this back on. You got to reflect. This is basically the border type. So if I go back to right here, where you can see his head, you can change the border type to replicate, which basically kind of stretches out the frames or those pixels. And then you have wraparound, which basically just had the clip basically going around in circles. So you'll see actually the bottom of the clip at the top right here. And then the default is black. For this particular clip, it just showed a black border. And if I scroll down and hit this and zoom the crop, like I said, you can zoom in to try to crop some of that out if you want to try to keep it within the boundaries of your framing. I'm going to go back now and delete this one. I'm going to grab the continuous zoom. This one zooms in. It zoomed in a little too far for this particular clip, but it zooms in and then zooms back out towards the end. So now I'm going to go back and delete this one. I'm going to grab the handheld. Now I'm going to grab the handheld preset, drag it to the clip. This is just a very subtle camera shake that replicates handheld motion. These presets are the same as the continuous, except this one here, it tapers off towards the end of the clip. So it'll flash first, it'll shake, and then it starts to slow down towards the end. And the Rumble Pack Zoom does the same thing. It'll zoom in on the clip. You can see right there, it zooms back out to the default. The very reason I made this zoom preset was because I was working with this clip here. Actually, I'm gonna delete this first. This clip here has a top and bottom, or has a crop on the top and bottom, and that crop is transparent actually. So if I put this clip underneath it, you can see that clip behind it. I'm hitting Control Z to undo that. And I noticed when I was working with the preset, I'm gonna place this back on here. When I was working with the preset, I didn't like the way the replicate looked on the borders. And so I created a zoom preset. So right at the end of the clip, it zooms back out. And then the last preset is a zoom scale. These actually ramp up and down. So if I drop this on my clip, the flash does not come in first. It's just gonna ramp up. And once it gets to that middle of the clip, that's when the camera shake gonna hit at its hardest. And then it's gonna zoom back, it's gonna ramp back down. So it scales up on the camera shake and then scales back down. Now you don't need to use an adjustment clip for these effects, but if you want to, you can, which is a great way to save the settings that you change in the inspector tab for future reference. However, if you happen to drop the effect directly on the clip and want to save these changes, this is how you can do so. Go back to the effects panel, click on effects, and I'm gonna delete this rumble right quick, and then I'm gonna grab an adjustment clip. Just bring it to your timeline and then click on the clip in which you apply the effect to. You're gonna use a keyboard shortcut of Command-C or Control-C. So Command-C if you're on Mac. And then you're gonna click on the adjustment clip and hit Alt-V or Option-V, I believe it is on Mac. And then you wanna click on Fusion Effects and hit Apply. So now the effect with all the settings that you created on the clip will be applied to the adjustment clip. You can go into the Inspector tab, click on File. I'm just gonna give it a name real quick. Just call it Shake. Click away, you'll see the name change. And then you go to the media pool. You can go to your power bins. If you don't see power bins, click this 3-dot menu here at the top and select Show Power Bins. You can then place the shake in the power bin, which power bins go across all your projects. So anytime you want to use the shake again, just bring it back to your timeline. You can just place it on top of your clip and then apply the effect, which actually I'm going to delete this effect off this first so you won't have double the shake. So there, just apply the effect, and then the timing will be determined by the adjustment clip, in which I can just shorten this down to here. And then for whatever reason I want to apply that effect directly to the clip, I can click on the adjustment clip and reverse the previous steps. So hit Control-C, then click on the clip, hit Option-V or Alt-V, and then select Fusion Effect, and they'll apply those same settings to the clip itself. The link is in the description down below. For a limited time for Black Friday, I'm running a buy one, get one free sale. So for instance, if you add the rumble pack to your cart and go back and say, for instance, the stock frame presets you add to your cart, when you go to check out, the one of equal or less value will be free, no coupon code required.